Hello and welcome to round 5 of WCR Season 3 here in Tier 3. Last time out we saw Cossi take an impressive victory ahead of Mark, which launched the Brit into the lead of the Drivers' Championship. The Circuit de Catalunya is a 4.6 km track which consists of 16 turns and 2 DRS turns. The track lying outside of the city of Barcelona in Spain will be hopefully throwing up some action for us today. The optimal strategy today will be a medium to hard one stop with the medium runners that pitting on lap 13, and the Drivers' Championship you can see Cossi in the lead with 55 points to Dockster, Mark closely behind, then you have TX606 and Sturk on 35 and 34 points. And we still have 3 drivers without points, with that being Murietz, Crescent and Drake. Move to quali then, and we are currently on board with Cossi, who I do believe is honest in that, judging by his ERS, or could be shaping up to go for another lap. We will see what he does now. Of course, he won last time out in Baku, and yeah, we can see him going into the pits there. We will go on board with Carpaccio, who I believe is on a lap. Oh no, we just catch him as he spins off into the gravel trap on his lap, presumably. And yep, that's a lap ruined for the McLaren driver there. Here we have Bottas gang, who goes P6 currently. Actually, never mind, he does not improve on this current lap, but he looks like he is going for another lap, so we'll go off board here to see what he does in this lap. Riding the curb on the inside of turn 1, let the car run out wide at turn 2, and will he do the same at turn 3? It does look so. Into turn 4 now. Attack the corner and let the car run wide and use the track, but he doesn't seem to do. That's the best he can. Hitting the apex of turn 5 there as he runs up from the kink of turn 6 into turn 7, which I do believe he just cut. Perhaps that, no, because he does seem to be still attacking, and just looked like he cut there again, but he's still attacking on with his lap. It's the Mercedes driver. Braking hard now. Down as he enters sector 3 off the lap over that tricky bump, which leads into the hairpin, and in this final section, which was brought in to improve safety at the track. Hopping over the apexes as he dives into the pits to abandon his lap. We'll see what LSTC is doing here in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. Looks to run slightly wide there, but still looking good. Is the Alfa Romeo man. That car run out nicely there. This comes into turn 7, a tricky corner. As you can see, him losing the rear end there quite dramatically. This goes through the fast right hander, one of the fastest corners on the circuit, if not the fastest. He dives down. You know, we'll go back on board. As you can see, his teammate getting out of the way there. Clipping the apex very nicely there. As he'll now run up to the line. Well, what time will he be able to set? We will see now as he goes into P2 with 1 minute 18.8. So that's just 1/10 behind Mark, who, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe got pole position in Baku. So Mark has been looking impressive in qualifying as he currently resides in the pit, but we go on board with Panda Cruz, who comes up to finish his lap, which launches him into P4 on the hard tyre. So Impressive lap there from the German, only 8 tenths off, sorry, off of the fastest medium runners. No, yeah, medium runners. Now we ride on board with Doxter, who goes even quicker than what Panda Cruise could, so that's a very good lap there from the Spaniard. A 1:19 flat, and he's looking very close to the Toro Rosso of Mark. So a potential pole candidate is Doxter. We see what Carpaccio is doing now. Of course, before we saw him spinning on his lap on the hard tyres, but we now see what he's able to do on the medium compound tyres. Currently 2 tenths up on his personal best lap as he rounds turn 4. Actually breaking slightly too early there for turn 5, but he now continues on with the lap into turn 7. Takes turn 7 and 8 very nicely now as he goes into turn 10. Turn 9, I apologise, and here into the actual turn 10. A hard braking zone. I think the hardest braking zone on the track is that corner. Avoids the inside curb and rounds long hairpin corner, runs out wide as he dives into the chicane section of the lap. Hopes to get a good run out of these corners. Exit very crucial there as he goes P3 provisionally. So good lap there from Carpaccio. As you do see, that is LSD on the set of soft compound, so maybe LSD is looking to run quite a more aggressive strategy here today compared to the others, as most of the rest appear to be only on going for the medium starting compound. Arrived with Cossi now, who's just started this lap on the hard compound house. We see what he did. We see what he does here. Into turn 1, clipping the inside curb as he runs over the turn 2 curb quite aggressively there, as he will let his car run out wide here, and I think he's invalidated that. If he hasn't invalidated it, has definitely ruined his chances of a good lap there, as you see 1/10 down on his current best lap, but he appears to be striding on with his lap. Into turn 5 you see him go in the Rocket Williams car, rear end looking slightly loose on the exit of that corner. He's going board now, slightly missing the apex and running wide there, rear end going out from the behind him and going wide again there in the graphic, so it looks like his lap is ruined, but I may be diving into the pits at the end of this lap, but still only a 10th down, so that could suggest his lap was quite a messy one, the current 19.6 that the Brit set. As yeah, you can see him again rear all over the place. I have to see what he does now, as yeah, he looks like he is going into the pits, where he should emerge from the pits on a new compound of medium tyres. And here we are with LSD. He's currently 5 tenths up on his lap on the soft compound tyres, so he is looking to nab pole, but do remember he is on a compound softer than most of the people around him. As you can see, you've got Mark and Carpaccio and Doxter on the medium tyres, and looks like LSD aborts that lap. Maybe he's not happy with that lap, or he's just testing these out and actually staying on the medium compounds of tyres. We'll have to see. as we go on board with Faircamp now, who looks to be starting this lap on his medium compounder tyres. Exiting the final corner in the Alfa Romeo. DRS wide open as he runs down to turn 1, starting his lap now. Will he be able to potentially snatch pole position from Mark? It's a 7/10 game. It is very much possible. The gap from mediums to hards is around that 7/10 area. So if he nails this lap, he could definitely be in the shot of pole. You can see already a 10th up on this lap. Running wide a bit there. It's the Alfa Romeo man. It brakes hard into turn 5. Doing that turn very nicely, running wide on the exit as you're supposed to. Using this inside curve there as to advantage to turn his car around for turn 7 as he rounds turn 9, goes slightly wide there. I don't know if he invalidated there as he still looks like he is attacking on this lap. Use as much track as possible. Around in the final corners of the lap. Penultimate corner now. As he exits the final corner. DRS wide open. What is he able to do? It's only a 119, so only a 4/10 gain on his fastest lap, but it does look like he is going again for another lap. It's a Sauber man. But we now look at Panda Cruiser, who's also on this lap on the medium compounders tyres, who's currently 2/10 up on his best lap, now 3/10 up on his best lap. So this looks to be placing him around the regions of Doxter if he continues with this progress of gains on this lap. The penultimate corner there, hopping over the inside curb, accelerates out of the final curve. It goes over the line to go P3, so a very good lap there, and not too far off pole is the German. We now peep what Doxter is doing. He is 5/10 up on this lap. This looks almost certainly like it's going to be provisional pole position, and it is a 118 flat, and an outstanding that from the Spaniard. 7/10 is the difference from him to his nearest challenger in qualifying, which is the Toro Rosso of Mark. We'll have to see if any other car has something to say about that lap. Gone with Faircamp, looks like he can only improve by only another 2/10. As yet he pulls out and start off that lap, and here comes Cosy on this lap, so we will go on board with the Brit for this as Barskan gets disqualified from the session. Here comes Cosy now, round in the first iconic few corners of the Circuit de Catalunya. Using as much track as possible as he brakes heavily now into turn 4, and you can see he's already 3/10 up on his personal best lap, looking to be quite a good start to the lap from the Brit. Takes turn 5 very nicely through the kink of turn 6 it goes as he dives into the tricky turn 7 and turn 8 complex of this circuit through the fast sweeping right hander of turn 9. DRS wide open. Brakes hard into turn 10. As you can see, he's a second up, so he looks to be going either P2 or better at this rate. See this beautiful aerial shot as the Brit exits the final bunch of corners as Carpi goes P3 and as Cossi goes P2, only 5/10 off of pole after Doxter's phenomenal lap like he said earlier, as I do believe the only person yet to set their final lap is Doxter, who dives into the pit unless Doxter's going for another lap, which I do believe he did, but did not improve on. So looks like this is the final order of the qualifying. You do see Doxter on pole by quite the big margin of 0.5 of a second. As yep, here we go. Now we'll see the qualifying results screen. Looks like we didn't get the qualifying results there, so sorry about that. Must have been an issue on the game's behalf, as we are waiting for the drivers to select their strategies and fuel loads as they prepare for this Spanish Grand Prix. This session starting in a second or two. As they start the formation up. So it is Doxter on pole, followed by Cosy in the Williams. Then you've got Mark and Carpia just behind. Top three here on the grid are all in the top three of this championship, so this should be looking interesting for how the title battle pans out this season. As you got, as mentioned, Carpia in P4, followed by LSD behind, who did not set a lap on the soft combat tyres, so he is starting on the mediums just like the majority of the field. And you've got Faircamp down in P6, followed by Panda Cruiser in the McLaren with his teammate Carpaccio just behind. I've got Mark Nicky, who, comparing to his other performances, has had quite the disappointing quali from him. He's always seemed to be quite up near the front of the grid in most of the races, so he'll be looking to improve on this start position in the race. And they've got Stefferout rounding out the top 10 in the Haas car. Then outside the top 10 you've got the Red Bull of Zoxen. They've got Mario in the Renault, Simon Elite in the Toro Rosso as he knocks out the corner bollard. Then you've got Bottas Gang in P14. So here comes Doxter rounding the final corner on the formation lap as he looks to get in his pole position grid slot for what should be an exciting Spanish Grand Prix. I see now go up towards 5 red lights for the Spanish Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Can't see what's happening right now, but it appears that Doxter gets a much better start from Cosy in P2 as he looks to have his P1 safe, as we see Carpia going down the inside of both Cosy and Mark there. Oh, contact is made with Cosy and Carpia as Doxter storms out in the lead, followed by Mark, LSD and Panda Cruiser, who's side by side with Carpia at the moment as Stefferout has retired from the session. Can't see what happened to him, but yeah, we've got Carpia going alongside with LSD. As you can see, Cosy dropping 2-3 places off of the line due to his contact with Carpia, and you may have to wonder if that move was slightly too optimistic from the force racing point of Carpia. As you can see, there's a 3-second gap due to that. As here with LSD, who looks to be hunting down the Williams of Cozzy. Also down there we've got Panda Cruiser, who, yeah, looks he's got wing damage. Panda Cruiser getting wing damage off of the start. So very unlucky for the German, who doesn't seem to be having any good luck since joining Tier 3 here. As Willie peeled into the pits, it does not look, actually he has peeled into the pits along with LSD, who looks to also have some wing damage to his car. You see Cozzy hunted down the racing point of Carpia. As you can see, Docs are starting to streak off in the lead, about a 1 second gap from him to Mark. But we will go back to see how Cozzy is doing in the Williams. As you can see, 4 cars having to enter the pits there. All presumably from wing damage. So right now it does look like it's Doc's race to lose at the moment. It's because he's seen the effects of dirty air through the sweeping corner of turn 9. Stockster sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 2, as he has a 1.6 second gap to Mark behind. See a battle forming here from between Bottas gang and Carpaccio, as Faircamp gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So here comes Bottas gang on the hard compounded tyres down the inside of Carpaccio, but it does look like he's able to get the move done. And yet Carpaccio maintains his P6 for the time being. Oh, looks like Carpaccio was running slightly wide there. So we could be struggling. We did see him go off on his qualifying at that same corner. So you never know what will happen. But he is looking quite error prone at the moment. As you look further up in the field, you see Cozzy, he's close quite a bit into Carpia. Go on board with the Williams driver. Stocks just pulled out his lead to 2.3 seconds now, so he's looking really dominant now as he sets in a 121.8. It's because he has the DRS wide open. Don't think he is close enough to attack on Carpia. I think towards the end of the straight, no, it doesn't look like he's able to, but you see Bottas gang here, he pulls out to the outside and looks like he's got the move from Carpaccio. Will he send it also on the Zoxon? No, but Carpaccio once again manages to stick it around the outside and keep his P6. Oh, Bottas gang getting quite squirmy there as Carpaccio is close up to Zoxon. Will he look for a move down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. But you can see right behind him on this gearbox is Carpaccio to Zoxon. Will he look for a move down into turn 5? No, he thinks of it, but thinks better of not doing it. Got very tight train for P5 here of these 3 cars. As Carpaccio runs slightly wide there. We wanted to get a good exit off of this corner. So yeah, so he can launch his attack for P5. But it doesn't look like he's able to get that good exit he needed. So for now he stays in P6 behind the Red Bull of Mr. Zoxon. And right in the final corner now, and he's so much closer. Sorry, as he's the McLaren and he gets clean past the Red Bull of Zoxon, as there goes Bart's gang also down the inside of the Mercedes. Sorry, just excuse me for a second. There. Sorry about that, and yeah, there goes Carpaccio up into P5 and Bartasgang up into P6. The Sox and forced out to P7. He's got quite a good buffer to him. The Simon Elite behind, and an even bigger buffer to LSD, who's then fairly closely followed by Panda Cruz and Faircamp, Mark, Nicky and Mario, who all I believe got wing damage on that one. We'll have to see how this battle unfolds between Bartasgang and Carpaccio. Bartasgang on the harder tyres, remember, so see, he's the highest running hard tyre running at the moment. Oh, he's really getting all over the place there on the exit of the penultimate corner, and he's dropped like a second behind Zoxon now. No Carpaccio now, but we do look at Cossi as he is closing back into Carpia as he runs out wide there from the outwash. I said there's a yellow flag. We have to have a look through to see who caused that, maybe. Could have been Faircamp as he's going back into the pits. Don't know what is happening there, as he just recently pitted. And look, yeah, he retires from the session. Bad luck there from the Alfa Romeo man. We continue to ride aboard with Cossi. DRS flap open on the Williams as he looks to pursue the P3 place of this race at the moment. As looks like Doxa hasn't been able to extend his lead much more from lap 3, I believe, where it was like about 2.6 seconds, and it's just seems to stagnated at that area, 2.5 to 2.6 seconds. See, he's not close enough to make a potential move on the Force India. Racing Point, my apologies, and there's another yellow flag. We'll have to see who that is. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, that was Faircamp's car at the end of Sector 1 causing those yellow flags, as the Cossi, he's closer than ever before to Carpia, as Carpia seems to run out wide slightly there. And we'll have to see if the Brit will be able to shape up a move into turn 10. As he does not look to be close enough on this back straight. But we'll be hoping to set up a move onto the much longer main straight. As yeah, he is much closer there as Carpia misses the apex slightly, and that's allowed Cossi to have a much better run on him through the final corner, and he's only 2/10 behind the Racing Point. As Carpia pulls to the inside, Cossi now pulls to the outside, and he does a Sebastian Vettel-esque move which he did in 2017, and down the inside goes Cossi. A wonderful move there from the Brit. Outstanding stuff as we go down to Bartasgang. Will he try and make a move on Carpaccio? No, he doesn't. As I do think we are at the stage of the race now where the hard tyres are becoming better than the medium tyres, so we will see Bartasgang closing up to Carpaccio. More and more now. So that's something interesting. We see the fuel light on the Bartasgang's car, so it looks like he's going much more aggressive on this fuel. Looking to have a lighter car at the start of the race compared to the other drivers, because I don't think I've seen another car with that light. But as you do look up towards the battle for P3, as Carpia looks to have managed to keep his P3, and looks like it's deja vu, but the wrong way around, as Cossi gets a bad exit from the penultimate corner. which basically acts as the final corner here, as the main traction zone, as he is closing up to Cozzy now. Cozzy doesn't look to put up a fight, but will he try and outbrake him? No, looks like a little bit of contact is made, however. Oh, yep, Cozzy getting slightly out of shape there at turn 2, as there's this yellow flag in sector 3, and I do think that's Panda Cruiser. Yeah, Panda Cruiser is in the wall. He has lost some of his front wing again. Unlucky from the German. As he drops down into the final current position in the race. As we'll keep our eyes on this battle for P3. This Panda Cruiser has pitted in for a new set of tyres and the front wing. It looks like Carpy made a mistake there, as Cozzy is closed dramatically up to the back of the racing point. We'll have to see what he's able to do now, as Stockton sets a new fast stop of the race, and it looks like he is pushing right now, as he's extended his gap to over 4 seconds now. And here comes Cozzy once again. Will he try another move, as we see Panda Cruiser exiting the pit? But Cozzy can't outbrake the racing point of Carpia. We will have a better run now, as now it looks like the rear end of Cozzy is all over the place. In the dirty air of Carpia. As we now look behind him, we see Bartsgang. He has gotten past Carpaccio, so Bartsgang look to be making good progress on the hard compounder tyres compared to the medium runner of Carpaccio. We have to see what his gap to Cozzy will be like in the upcoming laps, see if he manages to reel him in a bit more, as it does look like that is what's happening at the moment. Oh, Carpia getting out of shape there. We saw Panda Cruiser earlier, ended up crashing at that corner. Carpia will not want that to happen to him, but once again, Cozzy, he taps the rear off Carpia as he exits the penultimate corner. Now the final corner. Will Cozzy look for another move? It was an outstanding move a few laps earlier, as Carpia makes sure he can't do that. Switch back as he bang wheels into turn 1, but that doesn't bother Cozzy, as he is round and past it. He's got the McLaren, the Panda Cruiser there, looking to undap himself. So yeah, that throwing something in the mix now. You can see Cozzy's ERS, it's down to 8%, so he'll be having to conserve it throughout this lap now. I'll be with Doxter, sorry, see how he is driving right now. As yeah, it's been quite the flawless drive with him so far. From the racing point driver, of course, we've seen his teammate Carpia in battles with Cozzy throughout the majority of the race, and that's LSD and Simon Elite battling. See him going wheel to wheel. LSD on the hard tyres, Simon Elite on the mediums, so Simon Elite should have the theoretical advantage to the Alfa Romeo man. As you see, Simon Elite tapping the rear left tyre of the Alfa Romeo and causing this rear end to step out. So any potential attacks have been thwarted by that contact. See Carpy now around the outside of Cozzy, and no, he isn't able to keep his nose stuck, but we do see Cozzy lose the rear end at turn 2 into turn 3, but he's still able to keep ahead. And there's this yellow flag in sector 1. I have to see who that is. So that's Carpaccio. That's Carpaccio in the McLaren. He has spun round and promoted Mr. Zoxton up into P6 now. It's been a mistake-filled weekend for both of the McLarens so far. just not being able to seem to do it as well as they like to do it. As we once again go back to Carpia, who is still glued to the rear end to the Williams. These two drivers looked off so their pace seems to be so equally matched. It's unbelievable, as neither of the drivers are able to seem to pull away from each other once they overtake them. So we'll see if Carpio is able to get a better exit, but that's Cozzy. He pulls into the pits now along with Mark. So P2 and P3 coming in for their stops. As you see Carpio here with the Panda Cruiser following in, who should be much faster. Then Carpio on the brand new 3-lap old, which is much newer than Carpio's 12-lap old medium tyres. So yeah, earlier stop than expected from these drivers, but Cozzy will be trying this undercut to potentially escape this battle he is in with Carpio. So he'll be wanting a very good outlap to do this successfully. You see Mark here, he's rejoined right behind Lawrenson, so this could be really impeding him here. Oh, as he taps the rear of the Red Bull, this is not going well for the Toro Rosso driver, as Cozzy will be able to be closing up to him. Obviously Cozzy before the pit stops was the closest car behind him on track, so he'll be wanting to dispatch of Mr. Zoxon as fast as possible and as soon as possible. As you will see here, if he will attempt a dive bomb into turn 10, he does. Outstanding move from the Toro Rosso driver. As we see Doxter, he now pits in. But that battling has not been good for Cozzy. No, Mark, I mean, as Cozzy has been able to gain time, but now Cozzy is stuck behind the McLaren of Carpaccio. Says a yellow flag here of LSD, and he is spun and he is out of the race. Oh no, he's disconnected, sorry. We did see him spam round, and as Bartelsgang inherits the lead from Doxter as he is pitting. The gap from Mark to Cozzy is roughly 2.9 seconds, sorry. Cozzy runs wide there. I've seen him doing that a lot during this race. Brit is closing up quite quickly to the rear of Mr. Zoxon on the 13-lap old medium compounders tyres. Those tyres will be much worse than these brand new hard tyres that Cozzy currently has fitted to his car. You'll have to see if Zoxon pits in or not, as yep, looks like he has. But this also gives DRS to Cozzy without having to overtake Zoxon, so this will be all the more benefit to the Williams driver as he sets his current personal best lap of the race as he looks to hunt down the Toro Rosso of Mark. Follow Doxter now, who is closing up to the back of the Mercedes of Bottas gang, who is the only other leader of the race so far, other than Doxter, who's been driving quite dominantly here today in his home track, Catalonia. Currently there's a much closer battle on track, which is the battle between Carpaccio and Mr. Zoxon. Zoxon, who's just exited the pits, has re-entered in a P7. Of course, we've got Mark Licky ahead of him, who is still yet to pit on the hard compounder tyres. Carpaccio looks to outbreak himself there, as he will want to set up a move as Cozzy. He sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as his attempt to get P3 from Mark continues. But currently, this battle is the closest on the track, and we have to see what Carpaccio is able to do now. Rear wing wide open as Zoxon goes very defensive already. Could say some double moving there, you never know, but he is unable to catch up to the Red Bull, as he looks like he was conserving his ERS. But will he have a look into turn 4? I do not think he is close enough to do the move, however. But you can see Zoxon, he is running wide. So he's just planning to go on board with Bottasgang, but no, he's unable to do that, as now Bottasgang, he has the racing point of Doxter close right to the back of him now. As you will see Doxter now, as he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Pull to the inside and gets the move done on Bottasgang. And we also have Carpaccio, he's going side by side with Zoxon, and Zoxon thinks better of going side by side with the McLaren driver, as Carpaccio goes up into P7, which I do believe will eventually result in P6 once Mark Nicky pits. However, we do see Zoxon close back up, but he's just not close enough to be able to mount an attack on the McLaren driver. But because he is dropped quite a bit back from Mark in the past few laps, around 4/10, so that P2 is looking unlikely. But as if the race were to finish now, excluding Bottasgang, who is still yet to pit, I do believe it will be a tie at the head of the championship between Doxter and Cozzy, as if I do recall correctly, Cozzy was 10 points ahead of Doxter. Actually, never mind, because Doxter will be having the fastest lap, so unless Cozzy does something about that, Doxter will be taking the lead of the championship because of the fastest lap point. So Cozzy will be looking to steal that fastest lap away from Doxter without losing any positions. So the logical option to get the fastest lap of the race will be to pit onto a softer compound of tyres towards the end of the race. But as you see, Cozzy's got cars quite close behind him in the forms of Bottasgang and Carpia. You've got Mark Nicky and Carpaccio, who I do believe is in range of the Williams driver once he pits, so he'll be hoping a driver fresh on the new compound of tyres like Mario or Bottasgang will be able to take that away from the Racing Point driver. So this top 3 of this race look to be the runaway top 3 of the championship right now, as there was quite the gap to Sturk and I believe it was TX606 behind them, who both haven't attended this race. So this is just fueling this title battle even more at the top between these 3 drivers. So right now, doesn't appear to be any battles on the track. As there goes Barsgang, he goes and gets the fastest lap currently of the Grand Prix, so that 1 point lead that Doctor will be having right now has gone. So we'll got this push Doctor will this push Doctor to go and get the fastest at that point. We will have to see how he responds to that from Barsgang. Let's go run with the man with the current fastest lap. Some questionable track limits there, I must say, from the Mercedes man. So okay, Doctor has had about that, as Captain Mark has decreased by quite a bit, 3 or 4 tenths there. So like Doctor has responded to him losing some time compared to others, as he is up on his fastest lap. He wants that fastest lap of the race. Quite remarkable if he manages to translate this lap to the current fastest of the race, which he does. There goes Doctor with the fastest lap and takes back the lead of the championship. Impressive stuff there from the Spaniard, is the least I can say. These tyres are much older, and remember, they are the hard compounders tyres, the hardest tyres you can have at this track, so it's been quite the impressive display from the Spaniard. See Panda Cruz, he's goes into LSD, but LSD, remember, he's a ghosted car, so not a true battle you would call that, but here is Panda Cruz, and will be claiming that P11 to himself. There we have Mark Dickey finally pitting after a stint on the hard compounder tyres, and he's going on to the soft compounder tyres. So Doctor, who's sitting on this fastest lap point, looks to be having that stripped away from him, as Mark Dickey re-emerges in, I think this will be P8 ahead of Mario in the Renault. So will Mark Dickey be able to retrieve that fastest lap point on the soft compound of tyres? We'll have to see what the Mercedes driver is able to do on them. Some of them must start copies closing quite quickly to the back of Cossie, so only got one more second until he's within his DRS range. So that could be a battle that will develop towards the end of the race, but I've gone on board with a lap which could potentially beat a fastest lap effort from the Mercedes driver. We'll have to see what he's able to do on this lap. See Soxon ahead, might be able to get the position off of the Red Bull driver. As he goes very smoothly through turns 1 and 2. Also through turn 3, let the car run out wide, using as much track as he dared, and he's up on his current fastest lap. You see his fastest lap currently is a 122.3, so he's going to need to knock 1.4 seconds off of his lap to be able to do a lap of the area that Dockster is currently doing his laps at, so see he's able to do. But looking very nice on this lap is the Mercedes driver. Brakes are down and he's 9/10 up, so this is looking even more possible. And as we head to sector 3, which requires much more downforce than any other of the sectors on the circuit. We'll have to see if he is able to do it. As Mario, he is out. We'll have to see what happened to him. But here goes Mark Nicky now. Will he be able to get the fastest lap of the race and take the point away? He is by 0.2 of a second, so once again, leader of the championship is back to a stalemate between Dockster and Cossie. And yeah, as I mentioned, Carpia, he is closing quite quickly to the rear of Cossie in the Williams. Of course, if you remember, Cossie, he pitted the lap earlier than most drivers. As you can see, him, Mark, both have 13 lap old hardcore panel tyres compared to Dockster's and Carpia, so maybe, not suggesting anything, but this difference in age could be prompting Carpia to close up, as was having quite an exciting battle earlier in the race to reignite. But we will go back aboard Mark Nicky, who has already closed to the rear of Zoxon, as he will look to ignite an attack on the Red Bull driver. Will he have to look down the inside? No, he thinks better of it. And there comes Mark Nicky now, pulls right on the outside, and that's an easy move from the Mercedes man. And maybe with his DRS he will push for another fastest lap of the race. We will have to see. We go back with Carpia and his pursuit on Cossie for P3. We'll have DRS, of course, entering final corner, unless Cossie can pull out a sufficient gap, which he hasn't. It's 9/10 however though, so Cossie getting a much better exit. But this DRS will keep him attached to the rear of the Williams. Well, not really attached at the moment, as you can see there. It's quite a bit of a gap between the two drivers, but he's still within around 0.6 of a second to the Williams driver. Let's see, 0.4 of a second separating the two drivers. These two obviously involved in that turn 2 incident, as Mark Nicky, as I told you, with the DRS he goes even faster than his 20.7, sets a 20.3. So it looks like he has got that fastest lap in safe hands. And unless stops pits for a new set of tyres, he will not be able to do better than that, but he will lose out on a lot of positions. 3, maybe from 4 places the cars behind the Panda Crew as he pits. Maybe he's looking for a bid for the fastest lap of the race. You can see his gap to the LSD is quite big. Something I may know, unless there's been a glitch, I do not believe if there's been penalties, as you can see, Carby. He's close enough to Cosy. Will he be close enough? I do not believe he is. No, he's not. See, these drivers riding the inside curves. Something that I do want to check is the penalties, because just looks like the drivers have been just super clean today, and yeah, look, only got 2 warnings from the majority of them. Yeah, good job for the drivers, not getting any penalties this race. But you know, that may change. The top 3 all are on 2 warnings, and another warning from the likes of Mark, that could possibly bump him down into P3 or maybe even P4 with the distance that Carpia is behind Cosy. As Cosy, oh, he gets flung over that curb, and Carpia will have the much better exit now. Or does he? He's currently 4 tenths behind. I do think that is close enough. He is really close to the rear of Cosy. Around the outside goes to Racing Point. Oh, there's contact between the two, but they still go side by side, and Carpia gets the position done. As Bottas gang, he pits in again onto a set of softs. So it looks like a lot of drivers are now looking to set a bid for the fastest lap of the race to get that extra point, which is what Panda Cruiser and Bottas gang have done. As Stockton, he gets a 3-second time penalty, so might have jinxed himself slightly earlier as Cop actually moves up into P5 as a result of Bottas gang pitting. But we may see Bottas gang soon reclaim that position with the help of that fresh rubber of the soft tyres. We see Cosy not close enough to Carpia. You can see how close he is now in Sector 3, only 3 tenths behind the Racing Point car. As we look to reclaim that P3, as he now that did look like Carpia was going quite slowly through that final corner, but now Cosy much closer than Carpia was on the previous lap. And here he comes. Carpia defends the inside. As Panda Cruz, he sets the fastest lap with a 119.9, and there's wheel banging to high heaven there. But Cosy does manage to get past Carpia for P4. As Carpia, he sends one down the inside. Oh, this is looking rather dirty from Carpia, and looks to get quite desperate to keep his P3. See the 2 cars nose and tail through turn 7 and turn 8 and now turn 9. It's Cosy DRS wide open again. Will he have the lunge like Carpia had the lunge into turn 4? He does. Might be seeing some revenge there as that causes Carpia to go wide. As we look side by side there. That has pushed Carpia onto a bad line, but Cosy isn't able to capitalise from it, as you do see now further down. That Bottas gang is within 5 tenths of Carpaccio, but that is much more important for the outcome of the race. As Carpia, he gets all out of shape on the rear, on the exit of the penultimate corner, there goes Cosy past Carpia into P3, and he looks to shut off any other attempts from Carpia and says nope, that's my position, as he moves up into P3, as Bottas gang is able to get past Carpaccio. There's Carpia running wide there on the exit of turn 5. But he's still within 2/10 of the Williams of Cozzy. DRS open. Don't think he's close enough to send one down the inside of the Williams man. Oh, Cozzy getting out of shape there as you are entering the final laps of the Grand Prix. We'll have to see what Carpia is able to do as these two enter the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. 4/10 behind is not impossible as we saw before. As here we go. Will he go move to the outside? Yes, he does. As yeah, he forced Cozzy to the inside there. I think that's Carpia letting Cozzy back past there. Yeah. Good sportsmanship there from Carpia, as I do think Cozzy will be wanting to get that penalty removed from him. Because it must add, Carpaccio got past the boss gang, so looks like the battle is on for P5. As he boss gang, he gets back past Carpaccio there. We do see Carpia again. Oh, that's Cozzy. He has lagged backwards, and as a result, he's now behind Carpia, and he's lagged again. Very unfortunate for the Brit. As we now enter the final lap of Grand Prix, which Doctor is on a Mark II, I believe. I have to see what Cozzy is able to do now. He's closed quite dramatically up to the back of Carpia as he blasts it around the outside. Carpia forcing him off the track. And there comes Cozzy. Will he have a look? No, he doesn't. But looks to get the better exit now. Will he have a look into turn 5? As Bartgang, he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix and steals that point away from Panda Cruiser. I don't think Cozzy got the exit he wanted out of that corner. Does seem to break later, but unable to do anything about it. As he's still planted to the rear, but we need to switch to Doctor, who right in queue goes over the finish line and wins the Spanish Grand Prix. An outstanding drive from the Spaniard there. But we now set our eyes back on this battle, as yeah, Cozzy isn't able to do anything about it, and Carpia takes P3 ahead of the Brit. Do you think Cozzy will be wanting some words with Carpia, as there was some wheel banging there, so maybe you might file a report against race point driver, who knows. But so further down on the grid we see Bartgang, he's exiting the final corners. He gets 11 points this race with his fastest lap of the Grand Prix bonus. And there goes Carpaccio, then Mark Nicky, and Soxon, who has spanned on the final lap of the Grand Prix and retired, but I don't think that will do anything to his P8. No. See the podium celebrations. Doctor, second time this season, I do believe, he takes the top step on the podium. As you now see the final results here, with Doctor taking the win ahead of Mark. Then we've got Carpia followed by Cossi, then we've got Bartskang, Carpaccio, Mark the Heat, Zoxon, Simon Lee and Panda Cruiser rounding out the points paying positions with LSC, Mario and Faircamp. Steph are out, unable to get points. So that was the WCR Tier 3 Spanish Grand Prix in round 5. Hope you enjoyed that race. This is Alfie Lawrenson, and goodbye.